Remember the whisper that changed the world? Bush heard war. Trump heard peace. And the world's celebrating. Trump decided to get in on the party, too. He gave Israel a ring and said, "Your families are coming home."
Mr. President, we believe in you. We know you've done so much for us over the past, since you became a president.
God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Thank you very much. You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
All of them.
Donald Trump spent all night in the Oval Office, putting the finishing touches on the Israeli-Palestinian peace deal. He walked into his quarterly cabinet meeting, and it was all love.
I don't know if one day perhaps the entire story will be told about the events of yesterday, but suffice it to say, it's not an exaggeration that none of it would have been possible without the President of the United States being involved.
Next week, the last remaining hostages will return to Israel and be reunited with their families.
At some point very soon, we are going to see 20 living human beings emerge from the darkness into the light for the first time in 2 years. I think it will go down as a historic moment in the history of our country, and something our country should be very proud of, that we have a president that's committed to not just peace, but to the human aspect of reuniting these families.
The front page of the Jerusalem Post, he's bringing them home. Lives will always be more important than land. You can get land back, but you can't get lives back. And guess what day tomorrow is? Nobel Peace Prize Day. And Trump hasn't been thinking about it at all.
I know this, that nobody in history has solved 8 wars in a period of 9 months. And I've stopped 8 wars. So that's never happened before. But they'll have to do what they do. Whatever they do is fine. I know this. I didn't do it for that. I did it because I saved a lot of lives.
Trump's not being selfish. If he can't get the Nobel, he'll settle for a one-way ticket to heaven. But that Nobel would look nice next to his multiple club championships at Mar-a-Lago. Or in the Oval, the gold matches the trim. Trump's not the only one who thinks he deserves it. Israel says, stop the count.
A grateful nation thanks President Trump for the return of the hostages, for the peace he has brought to the region. I call on the Nobel Committee to award President Trump the Nobel Peace Prize.
The Jewish farmers like that idea, too. In the fields, they carved Nobel for Trump. Even Democrats are saying it's too big to rig.
I think the whole point of having a Nobel Peace Prize is for ending wars and promoting peace. And if he brings the Ukrainian war to its end, I'll be the Democrat leading the committee.
Every Democrat should be celebrating, right? Rashida Tlaib used to spend weekends banging pots and pans outside of the Capitol, screaming, "Free Gaza." Well, Trump just freed Gaza. And what did Tlaib say? Nothing. Not a tweet, not a press release, nothing. Makes you wonder if she really wanted to free Gaza at all. Maybe she was more into the Intifada. Even the media is saying Trump pulled off the deal of the century.
Make no mistake, it looks like President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
It is a remarkable achievement, and President Trump most certainly deserves credit for his role. He has done this through diplomacy, pressure, and the sheer force of his personality and persistence.
There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
Biden couldn't pull this off because he had a nasty relationship with the Saudi prince. And after October 7th, didn't give Netanyahu enough room for revenge. Trump's first visit this term was to the Arab states, announcing a bonanza of billion-dollar deals. Then Trump joined Israel's attack on Iran, bunker busters. And then he said, all right, you two, knock it off, but still let Bibi have a free hand in Gaza. And then the prime minister miscalculated. He launched airstrikes against Hamas negotiators in Qatar. Qatar's an ally, a business partner. We have bases there. The Arab world was humiliated, and Trump was shocked. He summoned Netanyahu into the Oval, handed him a phone, and made him call Qatar and apologize in front of the cameras. Some said it looked like a hostage video. Afterwards, Trump put out a 20-point peace plan and told Bibi, sign it or American support for Israel's done. When the Israelis were still trying to nitpick parts of the deal, Trump said, stop looking for loopholes. Netanyahu countered, how do we know Hamas isn't just bluffing? Trump said, why are you being so effing negative? And he told Hamas, sign it or I'm letting Netanyahu off the leash. That means 72 virgins by New Year's. Historians are saying Bush, the elder, thought this was impossible.
I said, this is a man who spent decades dealing with this. I said, Mr. President, do you think this ever gets resolved? And he said, God, I don't know. That's what one of the most experienced diplomatic presidents in American history thought, is that it was an unknowable thing.
Why couldn't career diplomats get this done? Kerry, Hillary, Blinken. We were told Biden was a foreign policy savant. And now Democrats are asking, what happened?
Why do you think that this was not doable when President Biden was in office?
I think the biggest problem that the President Biden had is there was no pressure from Qatar, from Turkey, from Egypt.
But I think by saying that, it's sort of an acknowledgement Trump has changed that dynamic.
The Middle East didn't respect Biden. It's never a good idea to tell the Arabs, you're swearing off oil and going green, and then come calling back to the kingdom begging for more oil from a guy you called a killer. Leaving Afghanistan didn't help very much either. Trump was a lot different.
Obviously, the President of the United States, a New York real estate billionaire, one of the most famous New Yorkers in the world, has a lot of interaction with a lot of people who are very pro-Israel. I think that was an important set of experiences and life experiences that he brought to the table. He also, of course, knew one of the most famous Palestinians in the world, Chuck Schumer, and I think without that background...
With the help of Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and of course Donald Trump, all New York real estate developers put pressure on both sides and got them to sign on the dotted line. Personal diplomacy, business investments, and deterrence, a.k.a. Operation Midnight Hammer, convinced all the parties to listen and follow 47's lead because they trusted him, and most importantly, they respected him. When Biden said don't, everyone did. But with Donald Trump, when he says don't, then you don't. And now that's the rule even for Israel. The world was used to the Obama-Biden way of doing things. They just throw money at the problem. And when they didn't get results, they just throw more money. Trump's always been about making money, not giving it away.
Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world by certain countries, and just a small part of that, what they make will do wonders for Gaza.
With the hostages freed and when the fighting stops, fingers crossed, an alliance between Israel and Saudi Arabia can finally gel, and the Abraham Accords can spread. The crippling of the Iranian nuclear program made that possible. That means we can pivot to the Pacific and back into the Western Hemisphere if the Middle East can make money, not war. We spend our money on America, not light it on fire policing a troubled desert. And who knows? Maybe we'll build a Trump Tower in Gaza overlooking the Mediterranean. The views are astonishing. Not a bad place to hang the Nobel.
Well, I wish I'd give it to him so we could stop talking about it because it is so obnoxious that he thinks he should get it.
Why can't we talk about the Nobel? Obama got one. That was a DEI prize. Even he admitted he didn't earn it.
Obama got a prize. He didn't even know what he got. He got elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country. No, he was not a good president. The worst president was Sleepy Joe Biden, but Obama was not a good president.
Trump stopped 8 wars since January. 8. A guy who stops wars, do you call him Hitler? How do Democrats feel now, trying to arrest the man who made peace in the Middle East? With all this success, maybe we should let him run for a third term.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.